what you see back of me right here is the beginning ridge of the defense here at the Battle of Brandywine. As you can see, it's flat here. There's a hill that goes up. Now this ridge extends for about 2 miles along Creek Road. It was the ideal defense during the Battle of Brandywine. They had the creek that was about up to your waist. That was a natural defense, because basically you couldn't come across the creek with your rifle. You got wet, your cartridges got wet, your gun got wet. That was a natural defense, and Washington knew that. Now this ridge right here behind me where this windmill is, you'll see that. That's where Proctor's battery was. This is where Washington's guns were. This is where the guns that he took at Trenton were. This is where the French field pieces were. Now what happened was he arrived here on September 3rd. He stayed about towards the north in his headquarters for about a couple days, and during that which time he placed the line. Now placing the line in this area was generally telling your troops where to go. Where do we want to put the troops for best efficiency? Because they knew that Howe was stationed in Kennett Square and he was coming to Chad's Ford. Now I'm about 100 yards away from Baltimore Pike. Okay, this is where the line would have been, where I'm standing. Proctor's battery was right on top of that ridge. Like I said, this was a natural defense all the way down. All they had to do was stand on top of this ridge and go all the way down. In this area, this was stationed Anthony Wayne's Pennsylvania Division. He had about 2,000 men here in this division. Up a little further, up the road where Washington's headquarters was stationed, and that's where it wasn't Anthony Wayne. He had some men back there. And Nathaniel Greene's reserves were back there. He had to have troops in reserve, because if a line broke and ran, the reserves had to take their position. Now we're going to go on top of this hill. I'm going to show you exactly where the guns were placed in their general location. And actually you can see impressions in the ground, probably where the redoubts were. Let me briefly go over what a redoubt is. A redoubt is a dug-in structure that was done during the Revolutionary War period. They took a circle of usually sticks and they wound them up like a basket. They put these into the ground and they filled them with dirt. They left an opening in the ground to put the gun barrel through. Their guns would be about 4 feet lower than the top of the dirt. That was to protect them if they were fired upon. Cannonballs would hit the redoubt and bounce off. That was done up here. There was possibly 6 to 8 guns on top of this ridge. Now when the battle started to go along the other way, on the Birmingham Meeting House side, they had to take guns probably from this position. They had to take 2 field pieces and bring them up the hill. And that's not an easy job, because we're in the lowlands now. We're down by the Brandywine Creek. Whenever there's a creek, that means it's low land. So they had to take these guns about 2 miles to the west and bring them up to Birmingham. So we're going to go take a look right now at this position. We're going to see the redoubts, and I'm going to show you the field of view that these guys had shooting upon the British that were across the creek.